You can start either sitting someplace on a chair, a bed, a couch, anywhere, and just take a moment and come to the breath after that very nice sharing session that we had that brought us back to the light. Decide where you're going to place your hands. Decide where you're going to do yoga. We're going to start on the floor or on a bed, or the chair. You know, those of you using a chair know how to use the chair. But I'll coach it. I'll always coach all three. And then finding the breath is like, okay, where is my breath right now? How full and complete can I make my breath? You know, you start with the comfortable, steady breath, and you know, sometimes the breath, it's not easy to find it. It's sometimes that we're agitated. Sometimes we're excited. You know, whatever our emotions might be doing to our body, mind, spirit, the breath is going to take that on. How can we bring deep calm in this next 45 minutes? Deep calm to the breath, to the body, and go back to sending you light. And you can think of anyone that you're sending light. You know, consider groups of people, consider one person, consider yourself. You know, you always have to take care of yourself first. And if yourself is hurting, then you can connect in and send light back to yourself. You know, go back to being that light. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. And then see yourself as embodied light. Now, if you could imagine an image or draw a picture of you shining your light from the body that you're in. And remember that, 20% is physical in the understanding of the spiritual world or the understanding of the world of energy. And the rest is energy. And the rest is, what we've done is humanity has created its reality. And we are part of the circle of people that are coming together to work with the understanding of the new physics to recreate. And so imagine the new human. What does that mean? I can introduce you to this word again. It's the multidimensional human. And the multidimensional human has way more than 5 sensory perceptions, hundreds of sensory perceptions. And to really just go to that place to know that this practice, yoga, that's 10,000 years old, is willing to evolve. It's not like it needed to stay in one place and not go anywhere. It had to evolve. And it was allowed for that evolution as the insight and the raising of awareness of those that were the teachers all through the ages brought, and then spread it throughout the world. And so now we're working with 12 chakras. So first, the first 7, bring the fingertips together and the thumbs to your heart, the first 7. And just know we had to start here with the understanding of light. What is light? What is the electromagnetic spectrum? Right in the center of the electromagnetic spectrum is white light, and you come and you break that apart, and it is the rainbow. And the rainbow represents the earth, the water, the fire, the air, and then up into the ethereal nature that we know is part, starting at the voice, starting at the throat, then into the third eye, which is center of the brain, So bring the thumbs to the third eye. And this is where you get the multi-dimensional understanding of the human. It's the imagination, intuition, inspiration, and integration, and all of the sensory perceptions within those four. And so I haven't really gone into the depth of all the different sensory perceptions, but you can imagine through that imagination, just using your imagination, and how you can go and you can see the universe, because now we even have images, and those images are stored in your consciousness. And you can go beyond. You can imagine yourself shimmering light outside your body, and you can imagine yourself sending love, sending light. Send a light, send it all the way to the people that you need to send it to. Then tap the top of your head and remember that we're working with the expansion of the consciousness through what's called purple flame, the purple threefold flame in the heart, which is a combination of colors that make that color purple. And it, is this understanding kind of a flame of like light. We don't have to look at it as a physical flame. And it opens us to the aura, or the energies above us and below us. Now, sitting on the floor or chair or on the bed or something, connect yourself to the earth, connect yourself to the center of the earth. You are not separate from the earth. So you are the earth. We're just part of it. Humanity does help create the reality on the planet. And above us is the soul star chakra, the universal chakra, the galactic chakra, and the divine matrix chakra. And this is also, these are part of the 12. Then bring your hands to your heart and namaste. And this is just a little bit of a, opening using a variety of understandings. Those 12 chakras are also called the 12 sacred strands, lost strands of DNA. They're also called the 12 new ways to do the rosary. They're the 12 sacred. Now my brain's gonna go off. But anyway, there's a lot of ways that this is being looked at from different perspectives. And the number 12, we know about the number 12. And 2 + 1 is 3. So there's the power of 3, threefold flame, the triangle. A lot of powers of 3s in your different traditions. So namaste, I take time out to do this practice, and I honor myself. I honor that I also am on a healing path for myself and others. And as I heal myself, I also am there to help and support others in their raising of their awareness. And then let that go. Take a deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh, because we know, when you open the throat and you go, you're also opening the heart. Bij sound of the heart, that's yoga. The vibrations, yoga's unraveled all the vibrations of all of the chakras and the sounds that wake up the chakras. And so the sound, and hence we have amen, amin, shalom, aloha, maluhia. There's all these words that are all about using that sound. And that makes that sound, that sighing, helps you make biochemistry to calm the whole body. Which is why if we get an agitated system and we're feeling stress, then a lot of times it's and that's why that breath of joy can bring us back, or the ha breath can bring us back. Then lengthen out the legs if you haven't. And those of you who are already onto the floor, get your strap today. If you have one, a strap, a towel, something like that. And 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 just drop the knees side to side. And luxuriate in the structure of the body. Now, graceful aging. One of our intentions for this group is, graceful aging. What does that mean? And with that graceful aging, what's interesting is, our bodies have been through a lot in the last 60 to 50 to 100 years. So we're our bodies have been through a lot of different ways that we've used it. And we've coming over to the no, we'll come down to the floor all the way and have your strap ready. We're going to do the leg stretch series. Pull the knees in. You haven't done it in a while, and it's a nice grounding, comforting kind of series that works with our base chakra. So roll the knees in a circle. This base chakra is our legs and our pelvis and our sacrum and the lumbar spine. Roll those knees. Then pull the knees in, roll the ankles, point and flex the feet. Open the knees wide, feeling what's going on there, preparing the inner thighs a little bit for the next steps. Inhale, let it go with a sigh. Then bring the knees together, shake everything out. Remember that you're just water. This fascia in our body gets tight. And over time, and before we knew even what to call this, it's called interstitium by the medical community, interstitium. But this fascia that we are made of really is the quantum field inside our body, and it's tight. And you can just know that if it's tight in our bodies and we're just learning about how to work in the body, then how it is tight in the fabric of time space or space time. Then come into happy baby. And I just want to honor the children. So some of you have grandchildren, so you can hold on behind the knees. You can use a strap on their toes. You can get your hands up to your toes, perhaps. Some of you can rock side to side. You can do a gentle rocking. And some of you might be able to come down to one side, bring the feet together, and then come up and go down to the other side and put the feet together, which I'm not going to do because of my microphone. But, if you can do that, it's a very nice rock of the body to come down and then go all the way over to the other side. And it's something I've enjoyed doing since my body can do it. If your body can't do that, then just let it go. You might just go back and side to side. Then release the toes and find open space. Freedom. Freedom to do grounding into the spine, into the earth, as though you're tethered to the earth, drawing that peach-colored energy up from the earth. Know that you're not different than the earth. You are the earth. So we are going to feel it. You see what's happening to the earth. We're going to feel it. In fact, perhaps we're creating part of it because we are not separate. So let's just entertain that idea. Then you can lift the head up if you want a little bit more. Point and flex and roll and, work with the toes, work with the fingers, the wrists, the shoulders. Now you can go into more vigor with this by going side, you twisting the body, lowering the legs down. Inhale and exhale as you need. This is a warm-up for the whole body where you're grounded into the lumbar spine, or you're grounded into the earth on the whole spine with your head down. You can do anything with this posture, but we're just staying on the floor on our backs, and then freeze for a moment. And what is that concept of the space and space between? How interesting to have that concept be part of our spiritual nature. And we're supposed to keep getting an image of that. Now, if you at one point did anything with art, we worked a lot with mirror images or images that, you work with the empty space instead of the space. Then pull the knees in. I remember doing it in elementary school, like drawing a circle and coloring it in, and then drawing the space around the circle and coloring that in. So drawing the circle and then coloring in the space around a circle, and that's the space. And then the space between is the opposite. Then feet flat on the floor and bridge rolls, or just into restorative, like decide if you want restorative yoga. Remember, always have a block or a cushion, and just put that block or cushion right underneath that spine. It feels so good. And if it doesn't feel good, then that's okay too. You might have some kind of disc there that is needing help. I like the movement. So inhale up, exhale down. If you want a little extra strengthening for the inner thighs, then bring the knees, the feet, the thighs together, and honor Joseph Pilates for all the work he did. Now, Pilates is 100 years old and yoga is 10,000 years old. So he, yoga from yoga and from Tai Chi and Qigong, things emerged and changed and developed. And now in the 21st century, there's hundreds of different kinds of yoga that have been developed. Inhale up, exhale down. Sometimes it takes the movement and the breath to calm me down. I need the movement, and I need the repetition of the movement to get my breath to be able to do what it needs to do. As you're breathing, imagine that you're breathing in light so that you can be a stronger beacon of light. And that when you walk into the world or you walk into a group of people, that you're a bright light. And you can sort of shine that light and everybody can feel it because you're so bright. Now, the next time you come up, hold yourself up there and press into the feet and strengthen the glutes. Remember, back, body, core. Now, don't lose the breath and decide, what kind of breath do I need right now? You can blow out, you can breathe in and out of your nose. You're really working on what works for me. There are different, medical pieces about in and out of the nose. Actually helps to stimulate the vagus nerve a little bit better. And then hold the posture. Don't hold the breath. I'm headed towards deep breaths, but you can see what you need. Then bring your arms down by your sides and see if you can walk in place. Now you can lengthen out one leg and lengthen out one leg and lengthen out. Now, those of you who want to go a little further with this whole posture, you can pause on one side and lift from one foot and kind of lift that opposite leg up a little bit, strengthening the opposite leg and the other side. And you just do a few little lifts and you just sort of evaluating, witnessing, and then down. Then up onto the toes just to feel something different. All it is another little tiny posture just to bring our awareness to a different place. And they say all of yoga is really, as we lengthen out the legs, reach the arms over our head, stretch from the heels to the heels of the hands to the heels of the feet. Hold your breath. It's really what we're doing is like raising our awareness in the body, raises our awareness outside the body. Raises our awareness in all aspects of our humanity. And then relax. Pause for a moment. Just check in with this pause and notice if there's anywhere in the body that's speaking to you in this pose. And this, for me, what speaks to me is my kind of a little bit of torn up shoulder. And it will always speak to me. And I'm not even sure that, getting it worked on by a bunch of professional surgeons will do something for it. But it's there speaking to me. And so I'm aware of that. Graceful aging. making decisions. Now, come to bring your strap and lengthen out the right foot into the strap. So you put the strap around the toe, and you're going to decide whether to hold the strap in two hands or whether to hold the strap in one hand. And you're just going to feel what's going on behind that knee. Now, most of us have some tightness behind the knee. So bend the knee. This is active isolated stretching. Now, the other side, if you have a lot of flexibility, then you might decide to take that left leg and lengthen it out. We're going to do that when we come to the side anyway. Remember to have your blocks available for this series. But first, active isolated stretching. And inhale and exhale. You're getting ready for what we're going to do. You're retraining the leg. And then hold. And I'm going to put my foot back there. The foot on the floor actually helps the lower back a little bit more. Go and, give you more foundation. So graceful aging, surrender. You don't do the straight leg, you do the foot on the floor. And lengthen out. Now, what's interesting is as we age in yoga, many of us do lose some flexibility. Some people are naturally flexible and they have been forever, and they either have it in their genetics or whatever. I started out totally not flexible, and in my 30s became a lot more flexible as I learned yoga. And then now in my late 60s, I'm here with various physical compromises from being so active. And I don't have that flexibility. So I'm working with it. I'm working with what it is. I surrender to put my foot on the floor. Then take the strap into the right hand. Lengthen out that left leg. It gives us more, it helps us a little bit. And then take the block if you want some support and you can put it at an angle down to the floor, or somehow you can even use it higher, or you can have your leg over. You can do this whole series. If you're in your living room, then you can put your foot up on a couch. Now you can take your hands, you can hold the strap in both hands, two hands, or you can hold the strap in one hand. You can even wrap the strap around and do that. Now, if you have a wrist, tendonitis or something you're supposed to watch, then you might want to just use the support so you're not really having to hold and use the wrist as much. So use that support. Feel what's going on the inner thigh here. Remember that if your legs could speak, what would they say? They hold a story of your walk in life. They hold the foundation of the story of your walk in life. They are first chakra. They are the earth, but they are also your first contact and your walk through the world. Then bring that leg up. And again, the block can be put on the inner thigh. Again, it's also about your wrist. If you've got a wrist you're protecting, like I am, you don't want to have to use that as much. And then feel what's going down on this side of the leg. You're just becoming aware of the story that your legs hold. And just see if you need to let it go. I know you'll see what I'm doing. I'm letting it go. If you're watching, I'm letting it go so that my leg is out straighter. It's not over to the side as much. You want to keep the left side of your body fairly on the floor. You're just lifting that right hip. It's a whole different posture to go all the way over. But you can really do whatever your body wants to do. If your body wants to twist right now, go for it. You can twist all the way over. Then bring your leg up, foot on the floor, cross the ankle. Again, this is thread the needle. We've been doing this one a lot. And you can hold behind the knee, or you can hold your knee. You can have your foot on the floor or on a block or up on the edge of a couch. Any way that you're going to help your knee get a little more support for stretching the right hip, the pelvis. And then those of you who want to join me in a little bit more abdominal strengthening, then lengthen out that left leg. lift the head up, and then point and flex as you bring your leg up and down. Inhale and exhale. Ah. And then hold. And then let go. Lengthen out. Now feel that right side. Feel that left side as you lengthen out. Then bring the left foot into the strap. Ah. And then once you get there, bend the knee, lengthen out. Now, again, if you're protecting wrists and you're really, how do I do this without hurting, without an extra exasperation for the wrists, without, adding to what's there. And for me, it's going to be wrapping my hands there or letting that strap go, holding it very gently, and then letting my knee hold that strap a little bit as I am extending and folding. So then hold for a moment. Here I'm going to change to wrapping the strap around my wrist and catching it with both ends of the strap. And you're just exploring and you're going, isn't that interesting? And that's what we say, as we go through the world. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that happened? How does that make me think? How does it make me feel? How does it, what part of my spiritual self does it touch? Does it change my relationship to something? Does it stimulate something? Isn't that interesting? Then to bring your leg over to the side, lengthen out the right leg, take that block if you want, you can put it on its tip. Remember, you can also have a wall there. Your foot can be hitting a wall or a chair or a couch, an edge of a couch, or, you can have the leg up higher or lower. You have to determine exactly what is right for that inner thigh of your, that whole line of fascia that runs down the leg. Now, a lot of what we feel in our tension in our body ends up being fascia. And acupuncture is good for releasing fascia. There's fascia release now, the understanding of myofascial release. And that's a little different than massage because we understand the fascia differently. And then there's yoga, which is also recommended for, fascial understanding. And bring that leg up. And again, because when we work, the more we understand fascia in our body, the more we understand the universe. And if you look at fascia, and I encourage you all to go to YouTube and look at a photo of the active fascia and how it works, because that gives you a good idea of how the this quantum fabric that we talk about, this fabric, space-time fabric, this quantum physics understanding of that's beyond the Einsteinian physics. So I put the block between my legs because there's something going on in that fascia down the sides of my legs. And the graceful aging is, okay, isn't that interesting? And what does it tell me? And where might I go? What kind of practices do I want to do? Do I need any support from the outside world? Maybe a chiropractor or an acupuncturist or a myofascial release person, maybe, or a surgeon, if that's the way to go. Then my leg comes up. I cross my left ankle over my knee. Again, you know this posture pretty well. Lace the fingers behind the knee and just hang out there. Shoulders pull forward, head tilts back for some of us. And you could work with this in several ways. And you can also have that foot on a block or the foot on a couch or a wall. And you can adjust with that wall or couch. You can adjust the amount you can pull in on that right side to stretch the left side. Or you can take your right hand on your left foot, your left hand on your left knee, and point and flex. And I like to do this because I know I need to like strengthen my quads. And so this is a great quad stretch strengthener. Now your hand can be behind your head, or your hand can be on that knee, and point and flex and lift and lower. And then hold. Breath. And pull the knees in. Take a deep breath in and out. We're just going to come up for a moment into a spinal twist. You can do this seated on a chair. You can do it on the floor. You can do it lying down. You know all the different ways to do a spinal twist. And you're going to come all the way around and look around and breathe into it. See how far the body will go. Making sure you never cramp into something. You know, you're working with fascia. I encourage you all, you might look up the lines of fascia and see why when you're doing yoga, you're kind of twisting and you're stretching these lines of fascia. And that's what we did with our legs just now in the leg stretch series. And then back around. We're going to lengthen out the legs today. Shake them out. Take the right leg and cross it over the left. Take the left hand and put it around or catch your knee and do another spinal twist. Now, those of you who can take that other leg, that left leg, and tuck it under the right hip. So you're coming into this twisted position and you're doing a second spinal twist. We did this week, and I've been doing it a little bit more to try to get myself back to doing it. And so I want you to know, though, that the gentle form is leg out, and you just have your hand there. The other hand is behind you, supporting you. That's the gentle form. And then come back to center. Shake out the legs. A little bit of working with that pelvis. Then gentle spinal twist right here. This is really gentle. But for some people, bending the knees like this isn't the best. Graceful aging says, oh, okay, maybe I should do a spinal twist on the chair. Maybe I want to lie down and do a spinal twist. Maybe I want to put my right leg out and do a spinal twist. You know, it's like deciding what your body can do at this age, whatever age you are. And then come around and hold for a moment. I'm sending myself light to heal me, to hold me. I'm sending me light to hold me in love. I want to bring the light in so strongly and be light so strongly that what I see in my consciousness is light, shimmering out from the body. And then around. Then the left leg is in. Okay, so the left foot is in. You might be needing to sit on a cushion. Again, you can do another spinal twist on the chair. Take that other leg. Either you're out here. Oops, I'm sorry. You're out here. You bring that foot over. You cross it over, and you bring the left the right arm to the crux of the elbow to the knee, and you look around. You know, or you tuck that foot underneath, and one side can be much tighter than the other. So you're going to just judge that, and you can do that and see if it works for you. Again, sitting on a little cushion can help, or a folded blanket. And then you can try it and go, oh, no, you know what? I'm going to just keep my leg crossed and come around this way. You know, you can go back. It's the gracefulness of the aging process also comes into that. Well, I'm going to try it and we'll see and decide if that's good for me. And you're going to know your body well enough to make those decisions in any practice that you take on. Even the practice of sitting at a computer. How much time? How do you sit? What kind of chair? You know, how high should the desk be? All those things are part of us gracefully honoring the body that we have, knowing where our limits are, and then come back around, shake it out. Coming back down to the floor, we're just going to come back down to our back and press off from the feet and do cerebral spinal fluid balancer. Find the breath. It's a gentle pushing from the feet. It's nothing going on with I can feel the sacrum all the way. I feel the lumbar spine. I feel that sacroiliac joint. And then that joint is the one really grounded into the earth. And then up at my shoulders as I get to the thoracic spine, I can feel how that works. And then the back of my head, the rest of it is kind of a little bit off the floor. You've got a natural curve in the spine. And this is kind of knowing your spine. And then the rocking is just remarkable to reset that cerebral spinal fluid and to also bring us back to the place inside ourself that rocked. It kind of brings us back to being in the womb or being an infant and that whole rocking that we did. And then some of us may have been rockers in our beds. I say that because I was. I was a rocker. I needed to rock a lot, whatever that was about. It was probably resetting something. And then pausing for a moment in stillness, deciding if you want any more here for any kind of final posture. For me, I want to bring my legs up. So I'm just going to bring my legs up. And just feel that. And I see we're at time and it seems like I go 5 minutes over almost every time. So we should just expect it by now that we'll go 5 minutes past 12 on the West Coast. So just see if where you are at is in Shavasana or constructive rest, or if you've joined me with legs up the wall or over a chair. If you have a chair, you can just put the knees bent. You just come over and you just change the gravity of your legs. And since we worked with our legs, it's pretty nice to change gravity, turn upside down partially. Integrate. Imagination. So imagine the light. Imagine you as this beautiful light being that has been in physical form more than 50 years. And the miracle of this humanity, the miracle of each day. The miracle of the changing earth and the adaptations that all beings are making, and the incredible new inventions out there, the incredible ways to turn it around as we raise our consciousness and use all of our multidimensional human skills. So, and if you go out today or this weekend and you think of all the artists out there, all the art that's being created is a part of the recreation all the time. And it's the light shining through part of the multidimensional human. We all are artists. Every single one of us is an artist of some kind. Wherever we're gravitating or have gravitated in our numbers of years, our over 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 years we've been alive, or been what we call alive in our physical form. Ah. Then I'm bringing my feet down into supported bridge. Feels really good. Ah, still breathing, relaxing, integrating, and then into constructive rest, propping the knees together, feet wider than the knees. Hands together at the heart, and coming back to that ah sound. Ah. Ah. Peace, shalom, salam, pak, shanti, pache, mir, malohia, frieden, hang sang. Ah. May we all have peace. And may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. And spread the light, spread the love. Then release that down. And you can just stay here. If Shavasana is what you need, just stay there. And we can also come back and then remember that Shavasana is a posture of just taking 5 minutes anytime during the day, pausing and lying down. As a restoration for the body, mind, spirit, to take a pause. I'm rolling over to the side in fetal posture, which is very comfortable and brings me back to something very primal. And then up to mermaid position, which takes me to the ocean, takes me to the images of mermaids, takes me to the fish. Then onto hands and knees, and then finding my way up, most graceful way I can. And namaste. And I'll come back and stop the recording.